Well, great morning, everybody. It's a brand new month, a brand new Monday. You've got Ken and Cynthia Reed, Motivational Monday. And we're so glad to have you join us again week after week, where we explore a variety of ideas to spark your motivation, level up your leadership, and winning ways to help you thrive and just become a weekend warrior literally every day of the week in your Surge 365 business for marketing, as well as their Travmanity business for travel, and all kinds of things that go along with that, which means fun, fortune, and, hey, we're here. We're here. So however you define fortune, however you define value, that's the thing we're going to talk about today, and we're talking about partnerships that work. That's part of the series. In fact, the end of a series that we've done, about 5 or 6 parts to that. And whether it's basically business or pleasure, the success of many things in our lives, from business to personal, comes down to partnerships and relationships. And again, we're going to discuss, it's the 5-part one. I shouldn't go on my memory. But today we're going to discuss the 5th characteristic that makes up successful partnerships. So before we do, I value someone here right next to me who is the apple of my eye. And I'll tell you what, he's just an amazing, supportive person that I've had in my life for the last 49 years from the date that I first was introduced to him. But we've been married for 47. And this gentleman is not a stranger to many people. And if he is, they get to know him real quick. He is one of the gentlemen who is a multiple $1,000 bonus earner, been with the founders for 17 years of this company. He's also a team builder and a business mentor who's respected by a lot of people, and especially in our company. This retired teacher keeps meeting students every single day who look almost as old as he does because they got beards on their faces and, little gray and silver hairs. But, again, when you've been teaching for 34 years, things change when your students were only maybe 10 or 15. But we're so glad that he is here. He is the grandfather of both our grandsons, and he is a father of 3, personal coach, excellent listener sometimes. But you say the same thing about me. But, again, we have a continuation of the wrap-up of the whole idea of partnerships that work, talking about value today. Mr. Reed, it's all yours, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to thank my lovely bride of 30. Oh, no. 40.
Hold up.
47 years. Can you believe that? 47, and we're going on 48 come August the 23rd. But, we want to also thank each and every one of you who got up and dialed into The View. And today we're going to do a continuation talking about something that's very important, something we've had to work at for years. It's called partnerships. When we're talking about partnerships, what we want to do is we want to create great partnerships with whomever you happen to work with. Okay, so we want to do those things that are going to be beneficial to us all.
All right, we're going to do a quick overview of the last 4 of the 5. We started out 5 weeks ago with being open to communication, being accessible, being flexible, being beneficial, and now we wrap up with value each other. Mr. Reed, why don't you kick off the value of being valuable to each other?
Well, I like to think after all these years we've been valuable to each other. But just stop and think, if you're just getting started together, if you've been working together for some time, it's really important for each and every one of you to feel valued by your partner. Because this can actually create great outcomes. And once again, when you have those outcomes and those feelings, they could also benefit. You could also benefit from collective talents. We all have different talents that we can bring to, or that we do bring to our relationships. So it's important to recognize those talents and know that we don't all have to be the same, that it's good to have different talents because now you're more diversified and you're better prepared to work into the things that you need to get done to reach your objectives together. Cynthia?
Some people define talents as abilities. Sometimes they're learned. Sometimes they're innate. INNATE is a nature. Now, one of the things that my husband and I had the opportunity to do is lead a tour as group leaders to the Ark Encounter Creation Museum, River Road Cruise, and Underground Railroad Freedom Center in the Cincinnati area, as in that we call it like the Tri-State District, because if you're driving 1 minute you're in Indiana, and then the next minute you're in Ohio, then the next minute you're in Kentucky, and then loop-de-loop-de-loop. It's sort of like that down there with the Ohio River. And the one thing that we saw was the differences that really aren't all that different. Even though there are a lot of people, a lot of animals, a lot of plants, a lot of biblical scripture that ties in, basically science backs up the Bible. And there were people from all over the place there, from the state of Maine, coming to little old, Midwest, from Florida, from Texas, from South Carolina. They were from everywhere. And so here we had, talking about the differences and the talents that people have, not just the talents of bus drivers navigating some of those crazy little narrow roads, but also the talent that we learn about each other, because there were people that got on our vehicle, our stretch motor coach bus, I loved it, and they really didn't know each other at first, but then they got to talking. And as a group leader, as someone who is in leadership, it's not Leadership Tuesday, but as someone who's in leadership, it's our responsibilities to make sure that people find something in common. So, yes, there were people from different places. There were people who drove in. There were people who flew in from the D.C. area and Atlanta to be with their parents to go on this trip. And it was so cool because everybody felt like they were one unit. So when you have, again, the ability to partner up and do something, even if it's going on a trip, you may get on as strangers, but if you open up, evolve, so to speak, where people can flow with their talents and their abilities. Folks got off that bus asking for each other's phone numbers, because we can't do that professionally, because one actually called and said, oh, I just loved talking to that person before. Could you give us the information? Nah, can't do that. That's a professional violation. And so the bottom line is, I did say, because I knew this person very well, I said, you know what? I can connect you if that's okay. I give you her number. It's two ladies. They hit it off so well. And we needed that. We truly needed that connectiveness, and that's part of the value of traveling together and going beyond just sightseeing, but actually making partners feel like they can impact one another, and they're committed. And now they're saying, you know something, I think I could partner with that person because we have the same mindset, and I didn't even know you when you first got on here. So that's pretty powerful. Mr. Reed?
The way that people feel will actually affect how they can partner with one another and how they work together. And, it also actually adds to their commitment to an end goal. And they'll be able to work together and gain momentum and actually create a strong impact among those that they observe, because people will observe them and observe that partnership. And there's one thing that people really admire is when they can see people working together, because they have a strong sense of partnership and feeling empowered and feeling confident. So the bottom line is, in all partnerships, you should be sure that the information and expectations are clear. Make instructions easy to follow. Yes, instructions easy to address, and any complications that you may have without getting emotional about it, once again, being able to work through it. And then there's this, it's called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid rule. No, it's not keep it simple, stupid rule, but it's keep it short and sweet. So when you have issues, keep them short and sweet. Work at solving and coming to a conclusion there. So you can always move forward with everyone with positive feelings. Cynthia?
One thing, when he kind of went into that that flow with people saying, keep it simple, stupid, that's a very derogatory thing. It's so devaluing for a person to feel like they're not worth anything because they have different ideas, but it's okay, as our pastor said, one of our pastors, keeping things short and sweet. Short, not necessarily meaning that you don't tell them everything. And then sometimes Jesus said, don't tell anything. So we have to have this rule of discernment from wisdom and experience that allows us to say, okay, look, I'm not sure if I should say this, but this is why I feel I need to. And you preface that and you couch it just a little bit and you say, you know something, maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, and don't think that I'm not valuing what you said, but I need a little clarity because now I'll feel valued if you give me that clarity. So, again, things are very unique between people, but we all should strive, again, to have that communication. We should all try real hard every day to be accessible to people, even if it means going out of our way just a little bit, because people watch you, and if you silence them, it's like, wait a minute, not that you say shush or shh or quiet, that you can silence a person's value, and that's where people start feeling worthless, feeling like that they're breakable, feeling like that what they bring to the table, it's like, well, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to raise my hand. I'm not going to make a comment. I'm not going to submit a support ticket. Hello, okay? So the thing is, we have that value system that makes sure our partnerships with our company and ourselves and the people we bring into the company and the people who we work with through the company and the clients that we have and the networking that we do are all in great working order so we can get the job done. Mr. Reed, wrap it up.
Once again, you can't beat great partnerships. And great partnerships only come when you do something called work. You have to work at anything that's of value that you want to get done in relationships. And when you do that, other people will see it, they'll admire it, and they'll model after it. So let's always think about being great partners and building on our partnerships.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Now, next series, we're going to actually talk about values. See how we're stretching this out? And we want you all to be sure to, if you don't catch the calls Monday through Friday here on The View, you want to be sure to get the replays. The replay for this call is 712-432-1085, and the PIN number is 261118#. Now be sure to join the Monday night Circle of Champions Level Up call. That is at 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central Time, same dial-in number as The View, which is 667-770-1523. And the PIN number for the Circle of Champions call is 667-770. 667-770-1523. And the replay is the same number as the View's replay call. Again, Circle of Champions, PIN number is 474053#. Please stay plugged in for company news and announcements. For your email, your Touch 365 mobile app. And if you're new and you haven't downloaded it, please download that mobile app. It is so accessible. You can do business from anywhere, except church, of course. But bottom line is you can get all kinds of updates, things that are happening, Corporate Corner every single Friday. Be sure to look at Winners Win training with Dr. Chris Coakley, the president of our company, of Search 365. And, again, those things that are important to you, that you value, and you're not sure why they're going on, send a support ticket, okay? Now, next up, we have, at the top of the hour, Team Success Force call, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Bright and early, refill your coffee because that number doesn't have a PIN at all. It's 563-999-5283. Again, no PIN number is needed. It's 563-999-5283. And to replay it, which does have a PIN number, 605-313-5112. The PIN is 621-640 # for the replay. And again, if you have any questions on how to connect up with any conference call, please dial the backup number, which is 716-293-9629, and then follow the prompts. Now, this concludes our announcements for today. Be sure to join in tomorrow for Leadership Tuesday with some very awesome speakers with some very awesome topics. And, of course, remember these words from American actor Dr. Morgan Freeman. The best way to guarantee a loss is to quit. And Dr. John Maxwell said, change is inevitable, but growth is optional. Again, you've got us here in the Yorktown/Muncie, Indiana area. Cynthia Reed.
And Ken Reed.
We're so glad to have you join us this morning. Make it a great day.